Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Today's lesson is going to be on multi-step equations. So the last video was single step. Now we're going to do multi-step, and I have two important examples for you. The first example, we're going to write down 8x minus 2 is equal to negative 9 plus 7x. Okay, so just like how you solve a normal or a single step equation, you have to get the x by itself. Now, in this case, we have x's on both sides and we have numbers on both sides. This is where you get to decide where you want to move the x and where you want to move all the numbers. So, for example, if you want to keep the x's to your left, you're going to move the 7. So this becomes a negative 7x. This becomes negative 7x. The x's cross out. On this side, 8 minus 7 is 1x, so it's just the x. And then you bring down minus 2 is equal to negative 9. Now dealing with this, you want the x by itself to solve it. So you're going to add 2 on this side. Remember, whatever you do on one side, you have to do to the other. You add 2 there. And then we now have, bring down the x. The 2's cancel. Negative 9 plus 2. 9 minus 2 is 7. Since the 9 is bigger, it's going to be a negative 7. Remember, it keeps the sign of the larger number when it comes to adding integers with different signs. So your answer is going to be x is equal to negative 7. So that's the first example that we have for today. And then let's keep going. So another example. Okay, so our next example, I'm going to go ahead and go back up here. I'm going to erase this part here. So notice when you are doing these multi-step equations, you get to choose which side you want to move the x and you want to move the numbers. In the last example, notice I moved the x to the left, but if you wanted to, you could move the x to the right, and the numbers would be on the left after you got them all on the same page. All right, next example. We have 24 is equal to 6 times negative x minus 3. Okay, so notice we have to do some distribution. So we're going to bring down our 24 and we're going to distribute. So we have 6 times negative x. That's a negative 6x. And then we have 6 times negative 3. That's going to be a negative 18. Now that we're at this level, notice with the 24, there's no x on that side, which means we have to move the number to the left. So we're going to add 18 on this side. Whatever you do on one side, you have to do to the other. Add 18 here. The 18's canceled out here. Now we're simply going to add 24 plus 18. And let me get rid of this bottom part from the last problem. Okay, so 24 plus 18, that's going to give us 40. Oh, put the pin. That's going to give us 42 is equal to negative 6x. Now what do? Divide by negative 6. Divide by negative 6. So we simply have on this side, bring down the x. 42 divided by negative 6 is going to be a negative 7. So your answer is going to be x is equal to negative 7. So that's going to be your final answer. for this problem. So if we do a quick review, we started right here. Notice you distribute the 6 times the negative x and the 6 times the negative 3. That gave us a negative 6x minus 18. We added 24 plus 18, which gave us 42. And then we brought down the negative 6x. We divided both sides by negative 6. And that gave us x is equal to a negative 7. So I hope this helps in doing some exercises on multi-step equations. I will post 2 worksheets involving multi-step equations on Google Classroom. Thank you.